Hey, so today is going to be another good special topic for you guys about Rodney Applewhite. He was coming down to visit his family, and on his way going to Arizona for Thanksgiving weekend, he was shot and killed by the New Mexico police officers. So the thing is, this is that they're basically saying that they were in a so-called high-speed chase. He was fleeing the scene when they was trying to pull him over. I'm going to give you just basically what I have and what I have read. We're just still unclear and unsure of why he was fleeing the scenes. We don't even know why. We don't know if it was for a speeding ticket, a tail light. Even if they wanted to just check this man and say, hey, are you okay just driving this far long?
Or why he was even dead in the first
exactly.
place.
Exactly. We don't really know much. So basically, like I said, they were behind him. So when Rodney seeing that they were behind him, hey, they said he fled. So when he goes to begin to flee, they, flatten his tires, with those little spike strips.
Yeah.
And it popped. So as they did that, all of a sudden, hey, he's out of his car. But in the midst of he's out of his car, wow, somewhere in this man's mind, they said, oh, he reached for one of the officer's gun. And as he reached for the officer's gun, another, which is the officer's partner, oh, he goes and he shot the man. He shot Mr. Applewhite. Now, so what still puzzles me, okay, now Mr. Applewhite, he's dead. And so one of the relatives of Mr. Applewhite, I think her name was Kenya, I'm not sure. Oh, Katrina, I'm sorry. Her name was Katrina. So, they're calling and basically to see like, hey, what's going on? Where's brother? Or however, where is he? He's taking too long to get here. So they just happened to call down and because, I guess they were seeing footage on the news. So when they finally figure out like, okay, this is what's going on, they tell the mother, okay, send us over some identification. Let me make sure this is you. And she goes ahead, she sent over identification. This is now, because this happened on the 19th. And she does so. They're like, okay, we'll get back with you. She hears nothing. So you have her do all this. She hears nothing. Now, on the next day of the 20th, she's still puzzled because you guys never got back with her. But they know, they have a feeling this is her son,
It's
the
another
brother.
one of those stuff here happening again and again.
Of another black life.
Yeah, that get taken unnecessarily.
So I'm just still blown away because it's still so touching because this mother is reaching out to these people over there in New Mexico and they're still giving her no answers of what's going on with her son, and everything that the mother or the family members are hearing, it's just coming from news clips.
Yeah.
Nothing from word of mouth.
That's where I'm at with that too. Yes, because it's another case where you have a surrounding mystery of what actually happened, coming from the police largely because they don't give you their direct information, and all of a sudden, if people are following enough, okay, all of a sudden there's no body cameras working, or they didn't have it, or whatever, and you hear some reports that okay, they said one thing, but then you find out, oh, they don't know. He might have grabbed their gun, but not. I mean, all this mystery around it. You guys, it just doesn't make sense. And there's a reason why the community has a problem with it when these cases come up, because it's like, okay, something just not clear or adding up. Something's not adding up.
But the community is not stupid, and I think that's why it's not added up. And part of me, I think we know why they not calling and telling. Because they trying to get their story straight.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
None of that shit makes sense. None of that shit makes sense. They trying to get their story straight.
Right.
So in the meantime, they gonna keep the information hush on the family front. Right?
Right.
Let that be some other type of family. Right? Let that be a white family. You think, first of all, they gonna be up there calling, doing all this. You gonna feel the pressure from whoever. Right?
Yes,
you got to give some answers. And so now they're going to try to give some answers. But because it's us, they can keep us in the dark. I don't know if because state by state, if that have anything to do with it, right? Because I think he was traveling. He was coming from Indiana, trying to go to Arizona. And, this happened close to Arizona.
Yeah,
it was in New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of interstate.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that has something to do with it, and then different area have to share the information. But at the end of the day, I think we all know they were trying to get their story.
Yeah, and then they say actually why he was pulled over.
Well, you know what? Speculation. Well, his mother. Well, I would say that his mother. There's a speculation that the mother. It feels like since there was an incident that he had in college where he was hanging out with some friends and did something foolish. He didn't. Well, his friends actually was robbing a drug dealer, and he was like the getaway driver, right? So by him being associated with those guys is how the crime went down. So he was on probation for that. Yeah. So his mother actually feels that that is probably why. Once the police were pursuing him, probably ran the plates and said what it was. Yes, he probably knew he got his name, got spooked, and ran off. And that's what she kind of feel what kind of put on into it, but. Towards in the story, when you think about it, like you said, to kind of piggyback what you were saying, Terry, it's like they were trying to figure out the story, right? But it's like they already kind of knowing the story. Remember, the only way that their family knew what was going on was the mother didn't find out because it was like a cousin or you said like an aunt had found out, right?
Yes.
How she found out? Through
news clippings.
So essentially, they had to find out. That not go out, then she would never even known anything would have happened to this guy or whatever. You just gotta just pay the diligence of the thirsty media to go out there and try to capture every story and want to see what happens. But again, yes. This kind of resulted in the fact of, what I'm saying, there could have been another just lost black man out there. Lost black man.
And I see what you're saying with the fleeing and stuff, but I'm getting back. No. Why was he pulled over in the first place before he even fled? I don't think.
What was your probable cause?
What did they pull him over for? Why was he stopped? He fled afterwards and all that. If that's true, and he did all that. Why was this man pulled over? I didn't hear. When I read the article, I seen it about a tail light or swerving out lanes or drunk. What was he pulled over for? Was it another one of those? They pulled over a black man because he was just driving through the neighborhood.
That's what I'm saying. Was it a busted tail light?
Out-of-state license, maybe?
And the same article.
Out-of-state license,
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then I don't think they said, but I don't think they said that.
But I agree with you because I know personally
he was from. Wait. No, wait. He was from Arizona, right?
He's from
Indiana. He was from Indiana.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's true. You know what I'm saying? It's not a grounds for cops to pull you over, but it does happen. I know plenty of times when I was out in Texas, especially that state, they'll pull you over because you have a California license plate. It happens and stuff like that. That's not legal grounds for them to pull you over.
Especially California, you know that.
Yeah, definitely not. California, you're liberal. I think you have weed or something, no? Things like that. So, but they'll give you the why. And it's still, again, this surrounding mystery of actually what takes place. You know what I'm saying? We don't play. We're left to, wonder, okay, we just see another black man shot.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen. Like, come on, you know what I'm saying? Well, of course we're going to get upset and this and that. Here we have another one. This man. Why?
Of course.
And
everything, all you hearing is, or are they hearing is, all this stuff is just under investigation. Yeah. And body cam under investigation.
One of the good thing I did get from, see the article that we read was basically how they said a lot of people in the community of New Mexico said it's been aggressive. Cops been aggressive this for over 100 years. It's been like this. So it's nothing new
100
to them
years.
Out there. Yeah. And then you can multiply that by how many other states and black people that can say the same thing. Because it's definitely rampant.
Also, with the cases of these missing body cams, no cams, and stuff like that. So they have these cases.
And they have the same excuse in every state.
Yes, right. Right. Like, I mean, they know what I'm saying. They're having a history of these incidents where nothing is on video. I don't know what's going on in New Mexico, but there's some reason these cops don't want to wear these body cameras.
And Garrett,
or they wear them, but it's not on.
Yeah, there's some kind of malfunctioning.
Right.
Yes, right.
Yeah, they just awarded a man in his 40s some money because they shot him 12 times.
Yeah. Oh.
The past, about 5 years ago.
Right.
That family member had to settle for some money in New Mexico.
Yeah.
Around in this same situation.
And what did it say? How many cases that happened? Only 6 body camera video was reported out of how many cases? You know what I'm saying? Come on.
So it's like New Mexico, they have a history of this.
Yeah.
If you're passing through New Mexico, black people, you need to be careful. Because you're either going to get shot once or you're going to get shot up to 12 times. So you have to be careful, black people traveling through New Mexico.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Yeah. It's going to happen.
Because they have a percentage up to 114 fatal police shootings in New Mexico.
Yeah.
And the people are black. And this is going from 2015. It's stated here.
Yeah, that's only 5 years. That's a lot of people.
That's what it says here. So you guys have to be aware and you guys have to be careful.
Yeah.
That they are doing to these unarmed, and I said unarmed black men.
Right.
Yeah, you know, and I want to point out something.
A lot of places, but you're right. Like,
and I want to point out something. Last month, October, and we did a podcast article on, one that got his face mangled, and they couldn't find him, his face busted.
Oh, yes.
Last month, and they found him in the field. Yeah, that's what
Major.
Yes. Excuse me, getting the man's name right now. No disrespect and stuff. The young 15-year-old. You know exactly what I'm talking about. The name escapes me right now. Kawan Charles. Kawan Charles. Yeah. That was it. And I say though to say, because guess what? We're still in 2020. George Floyd happened this year. Remember that.
Right.
All of this still happened this year. We're not out yet. And we had Kawan Charles last month. Now we got Rodney Applewhite.
Yeah. And many in between that.
Many in between that.
We talked about a couple other things.
Yeah, of course.
Brianna also happened in March with George Floyd, right?
Yes.
But the many numbers that's happened,
many numbers are from down to then, and we still got another month to go. Last one, say Juan Charles. So we got one more month. So another brother's turn next month, I guess.
You know what? Sad to say. I'm pretty sure they're gonna go out with a bang. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, you know what? And
I'm pretty sure.
I really don't.
No pun intended.
Yes, very much so.
It's very no pun intended.
And not to really turn the tide of this conversation, but you know what? Can we have the can we talk about that for a second and the idea? I mean,
of what?
Again, I mean, how is it that? I mean, are we just the only ones that's thinking about this right now? How is it that? I mean, now don't get me wrong. I'm not just speaking of like Black Lives Matter. I'm not just speaking about the people that go out there and protest. I'm talking about the actual cognitive, reality that you see what's going on with Black people. You know what I mean? Like you see the death and you kind
as far as overall, the whole thing.
You know what I mean?
And everything in context.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I mean? In context is what I'm kind of saying. You know what I'm saying? I know we all, like we said, say the names.
We hope so, because
but it's a passion. It's a passion.
But not towards it because I think it was what you're hitting at. We just hope that everything, we're not being led month to month or moment to moment. Is that we're still keeping in mind the overall systematic reasons as to why that you have these numbers keep on happening. That we're not going to the next month from Kawan Charles, to the Applewhite and everything month to month, and then we're just so being reactionary to everything that we see there's a systematic effect here.
Yeah, right.
Overall,
specifically towards African.
We keep mindful of that. This whole thing from top to bottom.
Mindful.
We get on the next thing month to month. No. There's a reason why.
Not to be naive about the whole thing, but I would like to think that,
people are thinking about the whole thing.
I think I want to say that's what the whole George Floyd movement started off talking about. Was like, hey, I know this George Floyd, and you hate it when they focus on that one person and go, well, he wasn't so perfect. He did all these other things.
Yes.
Okay, it's systematic.
Yeah.
He's just an example of what's been happening overall.
Yes.
It's systematic. Yes. So let's not focus on that. And I know that's what that movement was started off. Breonna Taylor, same movement, all the movement to defund the police. So we know it's not defunded the police. It really means reform the police. I wish they would have said that.
And didn't get that.
But that whole movement, right?
Yeah.
All of that is talking about how the issue really is systematic. Yeah. And it's not just one person, this and that. And that's what we got to keep on saying.
And you're right, Terry.
What I also want to say, too, and this is my question, do y'all feel like, I feel like this is the second story that I didn't personally hear about. I feel like when we started off, with George Floyd and all this other stuff, all you heard about every week, like I remember complaining, like I feel like we're sensationalized, another dead Black person by the cops, and let's rave about that for a week, and let's talk about it today.
Yeah, it is sensationalized, it seems like.
Now, it just seems like you hardly hear about that. Kawan, I heard about that from you.
Yeah.
And Applewhite right now, I heard about that from you. It wasn't popular in the media. So it seems
because the mainstream media is not taking that up.
We have Corona, right? So there's that, and we just have
which is a good excuse.
We got this wild one going out, so we're doing that. But at the same time, we were still in the potential of that, and we were still talking about this, right? Yeah. The struggle. Yeah. But now we're done with that. It seems like, you have no struggle. We're not going to put that on TV. Mm-hmm. We're not going to put that on the news. Yeah. You're not even going to hear about it.
You brought up a good point, the angle towards the media, because this is what the media does. This is a clever device, because they want the discourse to be chosen by them. Like, this is the topic we're going to talk about. Coronavirus is a good example of that, because they can always refer back to that. That's how to help to get the population over the George Floyd conversation, because coronavirus was more imminent.
Or
so
like,
said, okay,
what about election? Can I say election as well?
There's that happening too.
The fact that Biden's coming in office. Yes, so, right. You voted. You turned out a big turnout.
So there's perfect thing. They don't want to make the subject.
Yes. Oh, yes. We're going to get to work. Oh, yeah. We're going to get to work.
They don't want to make the subject that too. So then, but it's hard to deny when there's burning buildings and there's looting. So then after you have to highlight that and then try to make it go back to what you want to talk about.
And that's truly, and I agree with each and every one of you. And that's the more bothering thing to me, is that they still look at us like our lives do not matter.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So to us as a people, as a whole, our black people, we need to uplift ourselves. So everyone who has their own shows and inquiry and increments, we do have to put whatever stories that we have on here on our own platforms. However, because you know that they're not going to distribute, they will only distribute the stories that they want to put out. You understand?
Right. PM-Hour, y'all. Check in. PM-Hour.
Have that color that they're looking for.
So our people have to, at least discourse could be amongst us, and we highlight for ourselves and we know what's important.
If we had that color that they're looking for, I'm pretty sure we would be on that 2020 every day, that Channel 7, Channel 5 every day.
Yeah.
And you know, they would put out there every hour on the hour, oh, this child just died, or this man, this woman, because that's the color that they're looking for to put out there on their media and platform, because that's what they want to see.
Yeah.
But because we're of this color and this one and this nation, that's not what they see, because they look at it like, that person dies every day. Because we're this color. You still have to keep in mind that we are the ones that was in the chains and the shackles. They killed us every day anyway. So why is that?
Just like a movie, what it said, what's it said? Niggas die every day, B, in a paid in full movie.
Exactly.
So, niggas treat it just like that, dismiss it like that.
And you know, to them, so it's like, why would they put us back up there on the news? Like, here go another one, because just like we just stated, Kawan, here go Rodney, here go Breonna, here go George Floyd, here go Brown, the Brown boy. So mind you, if they would have put everybody on there from back to back to month, they would get tired of saying, oh, here go another one, here go another one.
It'll look like a sea of lynchings. You know what I'm saying? It would.
So,
with that, you know.
They would get tired of that.
Yeah. So.
But that's just the point that I wanted to bring to you guys.
And that's a good point.
We have to do it and stick it up for ourselves. But I'm going to bring it in close on that, you guys. And you know what? We're going to have to uplift ourselves, and we're going to bring it to us like this. And we're going to do it for us like this. But you know, guys, this is the PM Hour. Please follow us, like, in all our platforms, you guys, and on Anchor. I love you guys. We're going to bring it to an end.